Imagine a political giant, a party that has shaped Nigeria for decades, brought to a sudden, screeching halt. Just days before their most important national event, a federal high court judge slammed down the gavel, issuing an order that sent shockwaves through the entire country. According to a report in Vanguard Nigeria, the judgment landed like a thunderclap. It wasn't a suggestion, it was a command. The People's Democratic Party's National Convention, scheduled for November 15th and 16th, was stopped dead in its tracks. What could possibly be so powerful, so fundamentally wrong, that a court would take the unprecedented step of interfering in the internal affairs of the nation's main opposition party on the eve of its reinvention? The answer lies buried in a complex web of rules, long-simmering tensions, and a crisis that, as we will see, was years in the making. The court's decision was not based on a whim. According to reports from Punch Nigeria, Vanguard, and BBC Pidgin, Justice James Omotosho's ruling was a direct consequence of the party's failure to follow its own rulebook and the laws of the land. The court held that the PDP had not fulfilled the statutory conditions necessary to organize the convention. Specifically, the evidence showed that the party failed to comply with the 1999 Constitution, INEC guidelines, and its own regulations. According to Vanguard, the court faulted the PDP for its failure to conduct valid state congresses before slating the National Convention. Furthermore, the court noted that the statutory 21-day notice of meetings and congresses was not properly given to the Independent National Electoral Commission, or INEC, preventing the body from monitoring the processes as required by law. The ruling even pointed to a critical procedural error. Notices for the convention were signed only by the national chairman, excluding the national secretary, which, in the eyes of the law, rendered them a nullity. The court's directive was clear: go back and put your house in order. But the party's leadership didn't take this sitting down. Their response was swift, defiant, and set the stage for an even bigger conflict. The official response from the PDP was one of outrage. According to both Vanguard and Voice of Nigeria, the party, through its National Publicity Secretary, Dibo Ologunagba, described the court's decision as an assault on Nigeria's democratic process. The party vowed to appeal the decision immediately and, in a striking move, charged its members to continue with preparations for the convention. The statement from the PDP cited a recent Supreme Court judgment which, in their view, affirms the supremacy of a political party in managing its own internal affairs. This sentiment was echoed by other party leaders. According to Vanguard, the national chairman, Ambassador Umar Iliya Damagum, called the ruling the handiwork of saboteurs. Even more pointedly, former Deputy National Chairman Chief Olabude George described the judgment as the joke of the century and a display of judicial brigandage. The party's public stance was clear. This was an external attack they would fight. But was the problem truly external, or was the call coming from inside the house? The lawsuit that stopped the convention was not filed by a rival party. According to both Punch Nigeria and Vanguard, the suit was brought by 3 of the PDP's own aggrieved members: Hon Austin Wachuku, the Imo State PDP chairman, Hon Ama Abraham Nana, the Abia State PDP chairman, and Turner Alap George, the PDP secretary for the South-South. They alleged that valid congresses were not conducted in 14 states before the convention was fixed. According to the in-depth report by Vanguard Nigeria, this legal challenge was merely the tip of the iceberg, exposing deep-seated mistrust and power tussles that have long plagued the party. The report highlights weeks of bitter disputes over congresses in the Southeast and South-South, with allegations of exclusion and manipulated delegate lists. R.T. Honorary, a member of the party's board of trustees, was quoted by Vanguard as saying, "What is happening to us is just self-inflicted. When we do the right thing, we all go to the national convention and everybody will be happy." He criticized the party leadership for not following its own constitution. This public legal battle revealed that the assault on the party might not have been an external attack, but a rebellion from within. But as some members expressed outrage, others saw something else entirely, a blessing in disguise. While party leaders publicly condemned the court order, Vanguard Nigeria reports that within hours, the mood inside the party's Wadata Plaza headquarters shifted from outrage to introspection. Some members saw the ruling not as an obstacle, but as a moment of reckoning. Timothy Osadolo, the PDP's deputy national youth leader, told Vanguard, "Delay is not denial. I want the leadership of the party to look inwards and use this delay to do significant internal healing and reconciliations. Too many issues have been left unresolved." This view suggests that the court's intervention was a necessary correction, a forced pause that could save the party from imploding. The plaintiff himself, Imo State Chairman Hon Austin Nwachukwu, stated simply, "I'm happy that the court has said the right thing. The right thing should be done." This reveals a fundamental schism within the party, one faction pushing forward at all costs and another demanding a full stop to address foundational problems. While some called for healing, however, others saw a more calculated political play at work, alleging that this entire crisis was a meticulously planned blueprint orchestrated by a powerful figure. The plot thickens with an explosive allegation from inside the party. According to Vanguard, a party chieftain from Kano State, speaking anonymously, claimed the crisis was not a coincidence, but a carefully orchestrated plot. This source alleged that the entire situation is the work of one man who is fighting the party, identified as a former governor working with the ruling APC administration. The chieftain pointed out that the plaintiffs from Imo and Abia states are proteges of figures who belong to this ex-governor's camp, suggesting the blueprints are there. This claim, while unsubstantiated, adds a layer of high-stakes political intrigue. It paints a picture of a party not just battling internal dissent, but potentially targeted sabotage from a powerful insider. This internal turmoil is happening at a critical time. As reported by BBC Pidgin, the PDP has been significantly weakened by defections, with its number of governors dwindling. The report notes that the party has been rocked by crisis, defections, and infighting since the 2023 election, and quotes Nyesom Wike stating, "The party stands no chance in 2027 if it doesn't put its house in order." With internal factions, alleged sabotage, and a shrinking power base, the PDP stands at a dangerous crossroads. So here is where we stand. Nigeria's main opposition party is legally barred from holding its national convention, a process vital for its future. The party's leadership is publicly defiant, promising an appeal and framing the court's decision as a political attack. Yet the legal challenge came from within its own ranks, from members who say they are simply asking the party to follow its own rules. Behind the scenes, some of the party faithful are calling this a necessary correction, a painful but essential opportunity to heal and rebuild trust. And layered on top of it all are serious, though anonymous, allegations of a deliberate plot to destabilize the party from the inside. All of this is unfolding against the backdrop of a party struggling with its identity and power after a series of high-profile defections. The court may have stopped the convention, but it has started a much deeper conversation. Is this the moment the People's Democratic Party finally confronts the internal contradictions that have plagued it for years, or is it a sign of a final, unstoppable implosion? That is the question that now hangs over Nigeria's political landscape. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Niger Town Hall for more in-depth analysis. For full transparency and to allow you to verify our reporting, the sources used in this analysis are listed on screen.